Hey, May, just from your perspective, what led to that collapse there in the fourth quarter?
I think it was even before that in the third. Kind of lost some momentum there, even in the second quarter. But they cross-matched some guys and put the bigger body on Alpi and smaller on bigger body on Amen and smaller on Alpi. And I think we got too stagnant trying to hunt certain matchups. They upped the pressure and got us up our spots.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. When they do make that switch and put a smaller guy on Alpi and put Wemby on, how do you want to see your guys respond better to that?
Hey, don't get stagnant. We still have to keep playing, and regardless of who's setting the screen, Alpi can set it with the small and get advantage with Kevin and those guys, and vice versa. And got to be a handler and move Wembanyama around and screen, handle, do a little bit of both. And I don't think we were setting good screens for men. He would just go underneath and didn't get much out of that. And then Alperen, they kind of pushed him off the block. Wemby flooded, and we didn't get anything there on the elbow. Surprised we didn't get better position with Alpi in his ISOs. Did a good job. I think Castle and Barnes, those guys getting up under him, didn't really get to a spot, so we started shooting some elbow floaters and hooks from there. Not a great shot for us.
It felt like you guys had some success with Amen setting screens. It didn't happen that often though. What were the avenues you guys were trying to counter them putting Wemby on?
Yeah, screen, but both. I think both screening and handling. We got some guys that they don't want to leave their body, Kevin specifically, and so we wanted Amen to handle and them set the low screen. He did it one time. He got the dunk out of it, but more often than not, we didn't get a piece of Wemby or Cornette, and they were just meeting Amen on the other side, and so there's no separation for the pop for Kevin. So that's one way to attack it, obviously, but then Amen as a screener as well. You got to come up with that pace, set screens for Reed and Kevin to come off and get those clean looks, and didn't have a lot of success with that. I think their ball pressure bothered us on the perimeter as well.
In the third quarter, it looked like there was a lot of offensive possessions that Kevin didn't get an opportunity to touch the ball. How can you fix that going into the next game?
I mean, we got to get movement and not get stagnant and standing. When they're in denial, we can go to more off-ball actions. But if we run something, we have to set screens, get a little separation, and then Kevin has to move as well. And so it's a two-way thing. Less standing, more pace for both players. The guys setting the screens and the guys receiving them.
Coach, I think this team had 9 points from 17 offensive rebounds. Is there an effective plan B if teams try and take away your bread and butter?
Say it again with the points. I'm sorry.
I think you guys have 9 points from 17 offensive rebounds. Is there an effective plan B when teams try and take away your bread and butter?
17 is a decent number, obviously, for us. So that's not the problem. We have to convert those opportunities, and some are point blank putbacks and tips that we miss, but the kickouts is a big part of what we do as well. So you don't have a clean putback or layup. We want you to find guys on the perimeter or relocate or slash into the basket.
Coach, Wemby woke up with 7 fouls in the first few minutes or 7 free throws in the first few minutes of the fourth quarter. What was sort of the message to try to guard him without fouling? Sort of just a challenge of how that kind of swung the game a little bit in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he got to the line too much. Obviously, that was a big part of what he did. Shooting 15 is too high for him. Being physical without fouling, contesting without fouling. Tari had one early and some other guys on some shots. You're not going to block a shot, so it's take away the space and contest without fouling. But I think we got a little too into wrestling matches there. Alpi had one in the bonus in the second quarter. But just show your hands, use your body. You can push him off his spot without grabbing and holding.
Do you feel like your group's energy sagged in that fourth quarter, and why do you think that was?
Yeah, we weren't scoring, and that was part of it. So what I told him was rough job from the field offensively, and we still can't let go of the rope defensively. And 72 points in the paint. Harper getting downhill, Keldon Johnson getting downhill, and just kind of bumping guys off too easy. We still have to do our part there when we're not scoring at the clip that we need to be.
When you guys get stagnant on offense, what do you think leads to it? Because in the first half, the ball was moving, the players were moving, and then the second half was just the exact opposite.
Yeah, it was. I think their ball pressure bothered us. Like I said, they had Wemby kind of roaming off on men, but they upped the pressure with Castle on Kevin. I think he did a good job on Alperen as well, Barnes as well. So ball pressure affected us. Have to continue to play through that and meet the physicality like we did in the first half.
We saw Alpi moving a little bit slow after the timeout and left the bench briefly. Was he dealing with any type of injury, or was it more of a precautionary move?
He tweaked his ankle. You got to retake.
As a result of this game, how do you overall assess where your team is right now heading into closer to the All-Star break?
Yeah, up and down. I think show flashes, and then even within this game, 2.5 decent quarters, and then kind of hit a lull, and then had a poor offensive fourth quarter. And so, we were searching for that consistency, and we have to kind of emulate what works well for us. And when something's working, stick with that, kind of not deviate. And I think when we had a 16-point lead at one point, felt like we should have more than 8-point lead at halftime, and stay the course with what brought us success.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.